I'm a pretty confident guy. Um, I own up to who I am. I have a personality that fits me. I have things I like to do that keep me from getting depressed. However, there are things I'm insecure about, and that honestly do make me depressed. First of all, my height is one of my biggest insecurities. I'm 5'6". I get maybe an inch boost in my sneakers here. But see, I'm going to use my saxophone case for example. Oh, can't do. Nope, can't do. Can't do that. I didn't think. I thought it would have been sturdy. I'll use my chair for example. I wish I was a tall guy. I wish I was a tall guy. I really do. I really wish I was a tall guy. I really wish I was at least, you know, 5'9", 5'10", something like that. But no, Mother Nature had to fuck me over. And make me 5'6". So height is one of my biggest insecurities because I do want to get married. I do want to have my own children. And when a woman looks at me, she's going to say, hey, he's too short, and all that stuff. And hi. And it honestly depressed me. My height is one of my biggest insecurities. One of my other insecurities, it's not just my height, but believe it or not, hair color. Now, I'm trying to embrace the fact that I'm a redhead. I'm trying to embrace the fact that no matter what I do, whether it be markers, whether it be food coloring, whether it be whatever, I cannot change or dye my hair. It's one of the hardest things in the world to do. Now, there's only one way to dye my hair, is to bleach the red, and go through a dyeing process, going through the whole, sitting through hours at a hair salon and shit like that. Because honestly, I don't have the time to do it myself. But my hair color is one of my biggest insecurities too, because when I was a kid, I used to get a lot of redhead jokes. Of course, every redhead goes through that. Now, I didn't get it as harshly as it could have been, which I'm thankful for. However, I still got the carrot top insults. I still got, the Lucky Charm insults and shit like that. And how I'm trying to embrace it is to look at the people that I look up to in the world of entertainment who have red hair. And one of my favorites is Woody Allen. He has red hair. He has, I think, he's all white now. But at one time in the 70s, Woody Allen used to have, I think, the same red hair as I do at the moment. And I look at him and I also look at Ron Howard and I look at those guys primarily because red hair is a rare hair color for guys to have. And I'm thinking, okay, they're wildly successful. Woody Allen and Ron Howard are still directing movies. They're still putting movies out there. And so that kind of gives me hope that my red hair is not going to be a crutch. But in some cases, I think it does, is because if you look at the most of the leading men in movies and in entertainment have blonde hair, have black hair, have brown hair. You never see a leading man with red hair. You never do. The only guys with red hair are seen as jokes. They're seen as the butt of every joke. And well, hair color's an insecurity of mine. I mean, I'm trying to get over it. I really am. But yeah, besides height, hair color. Now, the other insecurity I have, and it's like only 4 insecurities I have, which is actually a record for me, because I honestly thought I would have more, but I don't. But the third insecurity I have is the dating world. Yes, the dating world is an insecurity I have. Because being a guy in the 21st century, being 24 years old, still being single at this age, people start to talk. People start to think there's something wrong with you, especially guys if you're not married by the age of 30 or 32. People start to think there's something wrong with guys who, aren't scoring with people who they're attracted towards. And while, the numbers of people date, it's just, it shouldn't matter, because to me, I think the less dating partners somebody has before they're married, the better. Just my opinion. However, if you have a number higher than 2 or 3, that kind of elevates your status a bit, and being the type of guy I am, I'm a small stage actor, I'm musician, singer. This stuff is, I know about myself, and no matter how much, ability a guy has in other areas, I'm not a mechanic. I can't build muscle. No matter what other strongholds a guy has, that doesn't matter in the dating world, because, if a guy, is making under $12,000 now, annually, he's worth nothing in society. But if you're making more than $12,000, you're worth something in society, which makes no sense to me, because last time I checked, most people in general in the United States aren't making diddly squat because of the low minimum wage, because of the majority of American jobs being shipped over to overseas. General knowledge everybody knows about, but yet there are superficial men and women, gay or straight, or bisexual, who say, if he isn't making over $12,000, I'm not interested. The control of the economy, people don't have control over it, okay? And so guys that make less than $12,000, just say they make $1,200 a year. That's not $12,000, but at least $1,200 is better than nothing. At least $1,200 is better than being homeless. So $1,200 annually is better than nothing. But yet people can't settle for someone who makes $1,200 a year, but they rather go with the rich person who, let's be honest, most young rich people aren't really doing much for the poor or the homeless. You see people who are making $1,200, pouring their life savings into building small community houses, spending the money which they could have otherwise used to pay off their college tuition debt, are actually helping the homeless, while the yuppies, the people who started their own businesses, good for them though, but they're not really paying it forward, and that kind of sucks. And they have more worth than somebody like me or some factory worker who's making $1,200 a year. But it's society. What can you do? But yeah, the dating world's an insecurity of mine because apparently, I have nothing to offer by today's society standards. Doesn't matter what my opinions are, doesn't matter what I like to do. If I'm not meeting a certain threshold of income, apparently I'm worth nothing in society. So, anyway, the fourth and final insecurity that I have is my ADD. Or my ADHD, as I was diagnosed with it. Again, this is another thing. I don't let hold me back, but it does something that does kind of, I don't know, slow me down a bit. I'm not a dumb guy. I know that. I'm not a dumb guy. However, reading is something I like to do, but sometimes it's a difficult thing for me to do because of my ADD. And it's just something that is an insecurity of mine because somebody might think I'm slow or whatever. And I'm not. I'm not a slow person. By many means, I'm not. I just like to do shit I'm interested in. Like, I like to learn stuff I'm interested in. I like to do stuff I'm interested in. I'm not interested in doing mundane tasks like taxes, But the point is, though, it is an insecurity of mine because if I ever meet somebody, who tells me to do something and I forget about it, and if they're gonna crack a joke, oh, it's your ADD kicking in again. It's just shit like that makes me insecure about it. Anyway, Hope you guys enjoyed that. See you next time.